My name is Emily Shannon, and I'm a stay-at-home mom and wellness coach from Cincinnati, Ohio. My life before implants was fairly non-eventful. I had been married for about 10 years, happily married. I was about 35 years old. I was mostly healthy. I had some minor things that I think most people think are normal, like insomnia and anxiety, but by no means anything like full-blown autoimmune disease. I was a vet tech, and I was happy. I was in the best shape of my life. I was very lean, and I got breast implants because my husband was a boob guy, and because I was so fit, I felt that my frame was lopsided. I was flat-chested, so I wanted to do something to enhance my upper half and balance out my frame, and that's why I got breast implants. When I really knew there was something wrong was when I was about 6 months postpartum after the birth of my son. I very suddenly, almost overnight, developed a very long list of symptoms. Brain fog, severe anxiety, heart palpitations, food sensitivities. I had never had food sensitivities before. GI disturbances, IBS, weird pain all over my body, pressure in my shoulders. It felt like someone was pushing down on me. I could barely form a sentence. I'll never forget there was one point in time when I looked at the hands on a clock and I could see the numbers, but I could not tell you what time it was. It was terrifying. I also started losing weight rapidly. I'm 5'8", and I normally hover around 145 pounds, and I got down to under 100 pounds. Could not explain why my body was not absorbing nutrients. I was having unexplained diarrhea and constipation. The list of symptoms was like 3 pages long. Floaters in my eyes. So many things all at once that no one could explain to me. I went to numerous specialists. I went to a gastric specialist. I went to an allergist for all the food sensitivities, chemical sensitivities very suddenly. My primary care physician couldn't tell me what was wrong. She really looked at me like I was crazy and had never heard of breast implant illness. This is when I started Googling all of my symptoms, and that is when I, for the first time, came across the term breast implant illness. And it was in that moment that I knew I had to get my breast implants removed. There was no hesitation. There was no waffling back and forth. I decided in that moment they had to come out. And I also continued Googling, and that's when I came across a practitioner, Sarah, who was able to help guide me. And she was able to help me understand the science behind why my breast implants were absolutely contributing to my illness, and help me come up with a plan for both pre-explant to help my body get into the best, healthiest shape possible considering the circumstances pre-surgery, and then also to help me afterwards. I had been incredibly sick before explant, and I had also done what I thought was a considerable amount of work on my body to prepare it and start the healing process so that explant would be what I thought was successful. But it wasn't actually until after explant that I got even sicker than I could have possibly imagined, which I never would have guessed would have been the case. I think there's a misconception, a misunderstanding in the broader breast implant illness community that getting the implants removed is a magic bullet, and it's really important for women to understand that that is almost never the case. Many people don't feel immediately better. Most people don't feel immediately better. In fact, many people get even sicker as their body works through everything it needs to work through from having had breast implants, and then also the trauma of having them removed. Surgery is super traumatic. So I had lost weight, but it wasn't until after explant that I got down to under 100 pounds. So I would advise women who are going forward into explant to understand that it will probably not be a magic bullet, but don't be discouraged. That doesn't mean you shouldn't explant. That doesn't mean you should leave them in. I would say for sure move forward with the explant surgery when you feel like your body is ready, but just know that that isn't the end of the journey. It's oftentimes just the beginning. And it's really not until you get the breast implants removed that you can really start doing the serious healing work. But healing is not linear. Healing is not a straight line. And sometimes you have to get worse before you get better, unfortunately. And that's what happened in my case. If I could go back to my pre-implant self, I don't know that I would do anything differently. I would never wish this type of illness upon myself or anyone else. But having had breast implants and having suffered through the illness that I did taught me so much that I didn't know before. It helped me gain a new understanding of my body and the types of things that are inflammatory, the types of things both in and around my body that are making or can make me sick and can make other people sick, none of which I would have known or understood before. So I don't know that I would do anything differently, although I would absolutely discourage anyone from going down the path of breast implants. And I would, if I were talking to another woman who was on the fence about whether or not to get them, I would definitely explain to them how inflammatory and toxic they are. Because of having had the breast implants and because of Sarah's help and guidance and how much she was able to help me understand breast implants make you sick, I am now able to care for myself and my family completely differently than I did several years ago. We have a completely different approach to health and wellness. Everything from our diet to our drinking water to the air we breathe to the personal care products that we use is completely different than it would have been several years ago. So I have the breast implants to thank for that, because were it not for them, I might be going down the same path of toxicity in other areas of my life. I think sometimes things have to get really, really bad in order for you to have the wake-up call you need to make changes for things to get better. What it means to me to be an explant thriver is having taken my life back by healing both physically and emotionally from the different things that my body underwent as a result of having had breast implants.